There's someone else who likes to make his opinion known about football in these parts, usually in the fall, but he's here right now. Former Texas Longhorn, the guy everyone wants to hear from, no matter the season, our own pal Brian Jones. He's hanging out with Dara.
And we welcome Brian to get us caught up on the spring's football scrimmages. And one from this weekend that was very entertaining was the Penn State blue and white game. But stealing the spotlight before the game was, of course, Coach Joe Pa. And he talks about this website mob. Brian, tell us what's happening in Happy Valley.
They're out there, Coach. You better look out for them. But I tell you what, everyone is upset. If you talk to the faithful, the true blue and white Penn State faithful, those fanatical fans, quietly they'll tell you, Joe Pa, it's time to go. But getting him to step away from that head coaching job, there's like getting me to step away from a plate of fried pork chops from my mama.
And from a coach that's not going anywhere to the coaching merry-go-round of the NCAA. Let's talk about Bo Pelini now, who's at Nebraska.
Yeah, Pelini, he's a great hire. I figured he would take that job in Nebraska. That was pretty much the #1 guy on their list. He's a proven commodity at defensive coordinator at LSU, helped them win a national title. He's going to bring more intensity to that football team. You talk about the black shirts of years past. That's what they've been known for, is a great, intense defense. And Bo Pelini is the guy who's going to bring back that Cornhusker magic. They've got one of their own running the program now.
Yeah, and definitely knows their tradition. They need that magic. Now, a move that had everyone talking in the offseason, of course, was Rich Rodriguez leaving West Virginia. You and I have talked about this. And now going up to Ann Arbor and taking that job. That's a very deep challenge.
Great move. I know all the folks there at West Virginia are upset because he elevated that program. They won while he was there. They were in the national picture as far as winning a national title. But I think it's a great move for Rich Rodriguez. There's no comparison when you talk about the history of these two programs, and nothing against what Don Nehlen was able to do there when he was the head coach of the Mountaineers. But Rich Rodriguez goes to a storied program. He's in one of the more elite conferences now in college football, and I think he will turn around that program. And I say turn around, they're annually up there in the top 5. But I think there's going to be some attrition right now, and you've seen some guys leave because he's bringing in a different type of offense. He's got to get some players that fit his system, but I think overall they're going to be fine.
And I think it's going to be a challenge to fill the shoes of Lloyd Carr. And like you said, it's in a completely different offense. You've got to get players that are going to be able to follow along.
He'll be more personable than Lloyd Carr, right?
There is no more personable than Lloyd Carr. All right, certainly on to someone, a former NFL coach who lost a quarterback with the Atlanta Falcons. Now Bobby Petrino heads over to Arkansas, where he faces the same void.
Yeah, you look at Petrino and the quarterback situation there at Arkansas. Casey Dick has been the guy, but also Darren McFadden, an All-American running back. He doubled as a quarterback and probably was more consistent of any of the quarterbacks. So who does Petrino put in that spot? Mitch Mustang, their big-time recruit a couple years ago. Houston Nutt brought him into the fold, but he transferred. He's now at USC. So I think that's going to be a big question. Who's going to step in at quarterback? A prolific passing offense. Bob Petrino, he had that at Louisville. He thought he was going to have it there at Atlanta, but never really got that offense going. But that's going to be the big question mark. Who can come in and take over at quarterback and run this prolific passing offense that Petrino likes to employ?
And I think later in the show, we're actually going to talk about some of the quarterback controversy and competition going on in the league. So let's move over to the Pac-10. Some pressure to bring that UCLA program back. They finished 5-4 in the conference for the last 2 seasons. What's going on?
Yeah, they've played pretty good defensively, but offensively, there have been a lot of inconsistency on that side of the ball. I love this. Rick Neuheisel, prior to me going to UT, I was at UCLA, and Neuheisel was on the staff as a GA. A brilliant offensive mind. He won at Colorado. He won at the University of Washington. He was an excellent hire for the Baltimore Ravens. I'm glad he's going back home. He will turn that team around. They've got a ton of talent. Now you've got a bright offensive mind running that talent, and I think you're going to see big things from UCLA.
BJ, you have so much to say.
Yes.